You're watching the SCAC Spring Media Days. Today we're taking a look into the Southwestern University men's and women's tennis programs. The Pirates, of course, coming off a 13-6 SCAC tournament runner-up finish on the women's side and a 13-8 SCAC runner-up finish on the men's side as well. The Pirates will once again be led by head coach Billy Porter along with junior Tyler Norman on the men's side and sophomore Mariana Quetzeri on the women's side. Coach Tyler, Mariana, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, I'll start with you heading into your sixth season as the head coach of these two tennis programs. What gets you excited about this time of year with respect to the challenges that a new season provides every year?
I think the most exciting thing that motivates me is it's a brand new chance of opportunity. We obviously set our goals out every single year, and having that opportunity to kind of start fresh with a clean slate is something that obviously gets us going every single day that we're out there.
Tyler, for you as a junior now, your first year as an upperclassman, having been a part of this program for the last few years, what's your mindset heading into this campaign? It's a pretty young team. You got some freshmen that are coming in. How have you kind of shouldered a little bit more of sort of that leadership role maybe that you're asked to do as an upperclassman this year?
It is kind of weird. It doesn't really feel like I'm a junior at this point. I still kind of feel like an underclassman. So it's kind of difficult. I'm not really a vocal kind of leader, and so now I kind of have to try to take that role and kind of try to set a good example. And so that's what I've been trying to do, and that's what I'll focus on moving forward, and hopefully get everybody to kind of buy into the culture and have a great season.
Mariana, for you as a sophomore, obviously in your second season there at Southwestern, what's the biggest difference for you from year one as a freshman, maybe not knowing what to expect, to now coming into your second year in your collegiate campaign? How much more comfortable do you feel with that year of experience?
I feel a lot more comfortable. Last year I was more on the quiet side and kind of kept to myself. But this year, since it's such a new team and a lot of the seniors and the ones who were leaders last year left, I feel more comfortable now being myself and kind of taking more, being more of a leader and setting a good example for the freshmen coming in. So definitely feeling more comfortable in the team this year.
Tyler, for you, you're coming off a sophomore season, which you posted a 7-3 record in singles, mostly at the 3 and 4 slot there on this team. What have you worked on over the course of the summer, in the off-season, the fall season, to continue to get better and improve as a singles tennis player?
I think the main thing that I've worked on really is kind of outside of like specific tennis, and it's just more attitude adjustment and just being more optimistic, being confident in my game, and confident that all the practice that I put in is going to pay off and make me a good player that I know I can be, and everything else game-wise will just kind of fall in place.
Mariana, for you, a 6-3 record last year at the singles spot, mostly at that number 5 singles position in your freshman year. Similar to Tyler, what have you been working on with your game over the summer in this fall season to continue to improve out there on the court for the Pirates?
The biggest thing I've been working on is doubles. I didn't play doubles last year, but this year I'm looking forward to it, and I've been working hard at it to have a chance to have a spot on the doubles lineup this season.
Coach, getting back to you, looking at the recruiting, looks like you brought in 4 freshmen on both the men's and women's side. This women's team, no seniors on this group. So, speak to the men and women that you've brought in. What have you seen from them early on in this season that gives you confidence that maybe they can make an impact early on in this season?
Sure. So with the women, I think what gives me the most confidence is that we have 6 girls that returned from last year's team that are continuing to carry on the tradition and the culture that the 4 seniors and the 2 juniors that graduated built, and so we have a very good space for them to come in and learn and adapt to our expectations and our standards, and they've done a good job kind of slowly getting comfortable and learning the ropes in that regard. On the men's side, it's very similar as well. I think the personalities are a lot bigger from our freshman class on the men's side than they are on the women's side. So I think managing, them has been a little bit more, taking a little bit more time away, and I've exhausted a little bit more energy into, making sure that, that they live up to their expectations. They were the 16th ranked recruiting class in the country, but also have to understand that college tennis is different from junior tennis, and I think that's going to be, a key component moving forward with the men's class.
Tyler, for you, you did have some experience last year in doubles, posting a 6-5 record. You partnered up with David Strong for most of the season. What adjustments have to be made for you when going from your singles game to your doubles game? And is that something that you enjoy, getting started off with a match, being a part of one of those 3 doubles teams that can get some early momentum early on in a match?
Yeah, I mean, being a part of doubles and singles, is a great thing because you get, the full experience, playing, both disciplines. And I think in some extent, it helps obviously to, go out there and, get warmed up, get in that match play kind of mentality and attitude. And, the adjustment between one game and the next is, a little bit different. You have to focus on different things, but, we practice both of them. So the transition is usually pretty easy, and I think overall it's a positive thing.
Mariana, for you, you mentioned, working on your doubles game and hoping to get into the lineup as a part of one of those doubles teams and making that a big part of your season. What adjustments have you been making? What specifically have you been working on, whether it's different serves or your play at the net? What things have you really been focused on to try and improve that part of your game?
Yeah, one of the big things I've been working on are volleys. Also just being comfortable playing doubles, being at the net, and really just communicating with different partners and learning how to play the game as a team versus singles, which is more of an individual game.
Coach, for you, as we stick with this doubles talk, what's key for you in trying to find the right pair as far as, either 2 women on your women's team, 2 men on your men's team? Just what usually works for you? What have you noticed has been sort of complementary with players in the past, or is it very case by case, individual by individual when trying to find out, who works together well when it comes to doubles?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think one thing that we look at right away, which isn't necessarily always something that we have, is we look for, hitters and setters to see, who's confident at the net and can close points out at the net, where doubles, you want to end a lot of points, and who can we rely on from the baseline to set them up. So that's one thing that we're looking at. I think one thing specifically that we've looked at extensively on the men's side is, because we have so much young talent, is balancing an upperclassman with an underclassman. A lot of these upperclassmen have played a lot of big-time matches, and the freshmen, as good as they are, you can't emulate that experience. So having an upperclassman to lean on in those tough times when we go down a break, or we're losing late in the match, or it's tight, that's something that we've really put a lot of emphasis on when it comes to our selection process.
Coach, just sticking with you, I'm fascinated by kind of this doubles conversation in terms of, tennis in general. I think people sort of think of it as an individual sport, but here at the college level, it's very much the team aspect of it. Do you put a lot of emphasis on that doubles, portion of your program, being first, having that opportunity to sort of go out there, make a statement, and get some early momentum? Is that something that you really reinforce, or do you try and focus more on sort of the singles attribute of the tennis game?
Well, I think doubles is the key. It sets the tone, and it's a unique skill that's acquired. And I think, understanding our competition, just looking at, on the men's side, for example, our fall results, Trinity's known for their excellent doubles play. I think Austin College had a great one doubles team, and I think we realized pretty quickly in the fall that for us to have success, in the conference and nationally, that our doubles game, has to improve. Is we're not known as a great doubles team. We've always been solid, but that's been the emphasis on the men's side. With the women, I think we learned the hard way last year, where we had some really close matchups with Trinity in the regular season and in the championship, and we came up going down 0-3 both matches, where in singles in the regular season we were able to salvage a split with the singles. If we would have gotten maybe one of those doubles matches, we would have put ourselves in a position to win as a team. And then the same thing in the championship match, going down 0-3. We even had some match points. I think we felt the effects of that massive uphill climb going down 0-3 both times. So that's been a strong emphasis with the women as well.
To finish up things with Tyler and Mariana, this is for you both. When you have had those conversations with your teammates this year and you're looking ahead for goals at this 2019 season, what have some of those conversations looked like? What are some of the goals for both this men's and women's program heading into the season?
So for the women, a big emphasis and big points of conversation that we're talking about is coming together as a team, since there's 4 new freshmen, 4 new girls that aren't as familiar with the culture, so just getting them into the culture, working together as a team, and just really the biggest thing is just emphasis on team and working together towards a conference championship.
Yeah, and I guess similar to the few things that she was saying, obviously we have a lot of new people on our team as well, freshmen and a transfer. So, getting the team to come together, have a positive experience is, the most important thing. And obviously there's some, real explicit goals, beating Trinity would obviously be great, as well as, improving our national ranking. But in general, we have a lot of opportunities to really prove ourselves, and, just making the most of those, I think, is really important.
And finally, Coach, to wrap things up with you, for all the fans, family, friends that will be coming out to support both these Pirates men's and women's tennis programs this year, what are a couple of things you hope they can really count on match in, match out, that, sort of regardless of the results, that you hope this team sort of takes on in terms of characteristics or identity, and that your fans can really count on each match?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing for us is to make sure that they have a world-class experience, and we understand it's a long journey from when we show up in August to when we conclude play, hopefully in May. We want to make sure that we develop our student athletes to be that much more ready for the real world, and have that competitive advantage going into looking for their job, an internship, whatever it may be. We try and be as tough on both teams as possible, just for their professional and even their personal development. Those are things that we put a lot of emphasis on, and so far the feedback from our graduating classes has been positive, and that's exactly what we're looking for when Tyler and Mariana's class graduate as well.
Southwestern University Pirates men's and women's tennis programs. We were taking a look at them today with head coach Billy Porter, along with junior Tyler Norman and sophomore Mariana Quetzeri. Coach, Tyler, Mariana, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head into the 2019 season.
Thank you.
Thank you.